What's up, guys? Brad here. Decided to do a review on this Rowdy Dog's Grunt tube, or Grunt call. I got it from my sister for Christmas. I'm down in Florida. She had it ordered and sent it up to me for Christmas. First thing I want to say is the finish on this. It's absolutely great. It's handmade, turned on the lathe, obviously. The finish is wonderful. The color, I like it a lot. It's very well built. I will say, though, the first thing, I was extending the tube out the other day, just 2 days ago, and the actual tube is separated from the call itself. So, I would say maybe that's a little bit something the manufacturer guy can do, just put a little bit tougher glue in there. But other than that, I mean, it's a great call. The sound of it is absolutely phenomenal. I like it a lot. The biggest thing I'd have to say is what separates this call from my other favorite call, which is the extinguisher. I have the extinguisher, and I really, really like that. The biggest thing that separates this from that is that this, I can get some volume out of this, like a lot of volume. The extinguisher, not so much. It's more of a quiet call, but like I hunt big woods, so when I go out in the woods, early archery, I'm hitting the woods by, let's say, 4:45, 5 a.m. because I have about a 3.5 mile trek to my tree stand by the time I actually get there. So I like being in my stands by the time that the other guys are getting out of their trucks and starting to walk into the woods, so that when they start pushing deer to me, because they only go in maybe 500-600 yards, they push them right past me. If they don't push past me, but I know that they've been pushed because guys are coming in the woods, let's say it's 10 a.m., daylight's been a couple hours, not really seeing anything. I really like this call because of the volume. It doesn't distort when you get it a little bit louder, and just the tone of it's really good. Here in Pennsylvania, I'd say maybe it's a little bit aggressive. It's a little bit too deep of a tone, but for the guys out west, I think that it's great. Pennsylvania, we don't really get too many big buck. I mean, you'll get your rare 5-6-year-old deer that you see maybe. Here in Pennsylvania, you'll probably see one of those deer, I'd say tops 3 or 4 times, unless you have a nice set of private property, a nice parcel that you manage yourself or you own and you manage it effectively, and it's big enough that you know that the deer are going to stay on it. Out in the private land, or out in the public land where I hunt, it's big woods, don't get me wrong, it's state forest, but the deer, they just don't get that big. They just don't get that big. It's very rare to get a deer that old. So this call, it is a little bit too deep for that. The tone's a little bit aggressive, but you know, if I get one right in the prime of the rut, a 3 or 4-year-old deer right in the prime of the rut, it's got a lot of testosterone coming through, he's probably going to come charging in, hair standing up and everything, looking for a fight. It sounds great. And like I said, man, I can put some force behind that and get some good volume out of that without even distorting it. So with this, I like it a lot. I highly recommend it. It's great. Once again, get a little bit of volume out of it. You blow that out in the woods, you're going to have deer 500-600 yards away from you that are going to be able to hear you. It's great. Like I stated, doesn't distort with the volume. Now, I'm pretty sure if you actually sat there and blew into it really hard, just like every other call, it's going to do that. But other than that, it's great. It looks great. It sounds great. It's well built, except for that glue. But I mean, you just put some super glue in there, and it's perfectly fine. 15 cents of super glue. It's not really bad at all. So once again, I highly recommend it. It's a great call. It sounds great. Well built. If I drop this thing in the woods, I don't have to worry about nothing cracking or anything like that. It's pretty damn solid. Fits perfect in the hand. It's wonderful. You want to get a little bit smaller? Even smaller than that. Little young buck. it's a great call. Obviously, you can go a bunch of different ranges with it by the length of the tube, how hard you want to force air into it. So yeah, there's my review on it. Great little tool.